How about this? This is called the Lowry Pueblo, part of the Canyon of the Ancients National Monument. It covers about 160,000 acres all over southern Colorado, southwestern Colorado. The Sand Canyon where I was at, that Pueblo that was rubble. This one is in really good shape, as you can see. This whole area occupied 500 to 1,300 or so. Over 20 different tribes in the area claim ancestry here. The Hopi, really popular. This one is really well preserved. Like Chaco Canyon, this one shows evidence of how it was added to over hundreds of years. The architecture changes, the rock style changes. This one's being well preserved. And a lot of it's underground. It's not all excavated. And at the time, it was in the 1930s. Its evidence shows most of this was underground. There was a second layer over it, another level. So they all had two levels. Look at that. A little bit of a curve to it. Not exactly straight. Good work though, still standing after all this time. This is some really good architecture here. They said that there were up to 5 layers of white paint on it originally when it was excavated, and they couldn't preserve it. Trying to use my phone camera for the light here, but it's not doing very well. But yeah, this was all underground. And so it would have been warm in winter, cool in summer. And then an extra story on top. So they built them well, they built them strong. They knew what they were doing. Very, very cool. This is my camera phone. It actually records better than the GoPro. The way they did this corner here. Couple of steps. And yeah, this is gathering places for religious ceremonies, for just family gatherings, discussions, people coming from other kivas all over the area. There are at least 2 levels on it, so there's room for a lot of people. Glad this one's being preserved because it's sitting out in the middle of nowhere on its own. Anybody can get to it, but it's still in really, really good shape. People are leaving it alone, which is good. You can see where the wooden post would go. This is all filled in. It would have been another level below there. All of these have been filled in with dirt. So these are multiple levels here. So that entrance there is probably big enough for a person to get into if they dug all the dirt out. But this whole area, Canyon of the Ancients, 160,000 square acres. Probably the archaeologists say there's rubble piles just all over the place out there from all kinds of smaller buildings just like this, all buried in the woods right now. This is another one of those things that the camera just can't do it justice. You really have to see these places for yourself and listen to the quiet. And imagine how it would have been when they were here and this place was a busy, active center. People coming from, miles. Chaco Canyon is about 100 miles south of here. They probably traveled between them. They say there's still about a dozen of these big pueblos still in the area. So there may have been even more at the time. And of course they have a great kiva, like all these great places do. According to archaeologists, this one seems older than Chaco Canyon, but they found pottery from multiple generations, so it just further proof that people traveled between these places, like Chaco 100 miles away and Mesa Verde maybe 50 miles that way, and all the others, the dozen that are around here. This whole area, the whole southwest was covered with people at the time. They traveled from place to place and they met in places like this. Now if you saw my video on Chaco Canyon, I didn't have much video there, but there were just 2 sort of probably like fire pits down there. With this one, according to a Hopi, says that these are representative of people. One is summer people, one is winter people. And if you look at it, you can kind of see that. You know, it kind of has maybe a head and a body here. And they're identical facing in. So that makes sense. And this, of course, would have been the entrance. And it would have had a roof on it. And it's big, and it's good architecture, and it's still standing. And just like Chaco, we got the outer ring where people would sit while the ceremonies were happening. And it's sitting out here in farmland. I mean, I passed wheat fields on the way in, and of course this is all just part of the national park, so it's just growing wild. So more than likely there's other places around here close by, either rubble piles, or maybe there's some small walls out there. I can't go through all the woods to find out, but yeah, it's called Lowry Pueblo, just outside of Cortez, Colorado. Easily accessible. There's a parking lot. Beautiful place, nice time of year, late September, perfect temperature, perfect weather. But again, this is just one of many. There's a lot more out there. I'm gonna go see another one right now.